Right. Hi guys. Thanks for coming. Um, what I'm doing here is just taking a few steps further on from our launch of Merong the Monkey from Comic Con that we had last weekend, right? So just a quick introduction. Merong the Monkey is a cartoon that we developed with Masakuno. That's basically the character, and these are some of the supporting characters that we're going to be making. And what I want to show specifically today is the fact that even though we managed to achieve this very articulated puppet where the movements are very agile, we haven't used anything that is special or anything specific or anything very expensive. Everything that you see that we have here is bought from hardware shops, and all the tools that we're using is just pretty much everyday tools, materials. And I want to take away the myth from the fact that if we are doing something specialist for the production industry, we have to spend a lot of money. Here is a demonstration. I mean, this is a comic book that has been drawn out, but we're not using this comic book exactly as per the design and the layout. What we're doing is, this is an inspiration for Merong the Monkey ultra-marionation. Now, ultra-marionation, we don't use strings. We use metal rods, which means that the movement of the puppets are far more controllable. I mean, I haven't put on the rig yet, which I will do in a little bit. But with the metal rods, as you can see, the movements are a lot more specific. Whereas with super marionation, the movements tend to be a bit more, they look like they have Parkinson's disease or something like that, you know, which is not the sort of heroes that we want. So, okay. Now, this puppet was made by me in about 4 or 5 days. So as you can see, it's a little bit crude, it's a little bit rough, but the demonstration here is not about the quality of it, it's about the mechanics of what it is that we can achieve in a very short space of time. So what is important actually is this. This is part of the Dutch Lady bottle. So what I've done with this Dutch Lady bottle is to use coasters for the swivel office chairs that you have. So that's what you sit on, that's what you turn on. Very available in anywhere, any hardware shop, any place where you can get a replacement. So all this stuff that you're seeing here is nothing, absolutely nothing special. This is the actual mechanism that we used at Comic Con to demonstrate how Merong the Monkey would work. When I went to find out what people spend on doing ultra-marionation, they actually use the vest from the what you call Steadicams. Now, the Steadicam jackets cost about 2,500 ringgit just for the harvest. Now, we're finding different ways. So, ta-da! For 25 ringgit, all right, you get a basic structure, which, I mean, I've had to turn I wear it the other way around, but all I did was cut a little hole here so it doesn't choke me, all right? And then I put a piece of plywood on the front, and I actually put a piece of plywood on the back as well. And what we did then was I bought a very simple adjustable mechanism, which means that you can make it whatever length. The longer it is, the harder it is for you to operate. So I've brought mine down to a minimum and just operated it from there. But I used the actual structure to be able to connect this to the inside of Dutch Lady milk bottle with a pipe on the inside. As you can see here, it's a little bit of a bigger size pipe. I think this is about 12 ringgit. The jackets 25 ringgit, PVC pipes cost maybe 4 or 5 ringgit a foot run, nuts and bolts, drills, holes, and a hell of a lot of imagination. But take the mystery out of that equation. I'm here to actually show you in 3 or 4 days we can make a puppet like this. Imagine if we spend a week or 2 weeks doing it, we can get a much better quality puppet. And imagine within a day or 2 days of people just having fun operating this, we got the puppet to do, Merong to do some really fantastic moves, and the interaction with the kids was unbelievable. Go to a souvenir shop and you're paying 15 to 25 to 30 ringgit per square foot of EVA foam. Right? Now this is quite dense stuff, but you can buy this in most kids shop because this used to be children's playmat. Right? Now something like this will probably cost 7 to 8 ringgit per square foot, which is between half to a third of the price that you're paying less. I want to show you, I love this stuff. I love Smooth On, right? Smooth On is a 2-part silicone mold making craft shop, but for that much material, which I will open and show to you, right? Combined, that much material is 160 ringgit, right? In order for me to make this puppet, it would cost me a few thousand ringgit to mold everything and to do it. If you look at what we're using, okay, for instance, ta-da! No more gaps. 8 ringgit for this much, right? The difference is even if you want to get the same quantity, it costs you 16 ringgit rather than 160 ringgit. The cost is 1/10, right? Any what we call joint for puppetry that you buy in any of the specific places which teach you how to do puppetry or animation, like for instance, even a doll like this, right? Even a doll like this where it's wood and it's carved like that, something like that costs 50-60 ringgit to buy, even from a cheap shop. You get the bigger one, you get this size, you're looking at over 1,000 ringgit for a beautifully crafted puppet, right? This costs 2 ringgit 50 cents, 3 ringgit. So to join it with a piece of PVC, which costs absolutely, again, nothing, right? It's just what I want to teach is how to cut this up, put it here, join it in. You have your arm, how to position it, put it there. What you need to learn to do is how to build a basic skeleton like what we've done here. Now, you know that the shape of the milk bottle, at the end of the day, when you hide it inside of the puppet, sorry, I know that looks really awful, but it's not meant to. So, as you can see, that is the basic shape of the body. Now, this blue EVA foam here again, if you don't know how to carve or whatever, it doesn't matter because it's cheap enough. If you buy, again, another secret that I want to go to a camping shop, go to Ace hardware shop, buy yoga mats, buy camping mats. This costs 6 ringgit 50 cents for I mean, this is as long as my memory. It's like frigging 6 or 7 foot long, right? And if you buy a piece of EVA foam from an art shop, a piece the size of this folder will cost you about 15 ringgit, and it's exactly the same stuff. A little bit denser, perhaps, but when you're doing carvings like this, you don't need it dense. You actually want it quite thin. I like my cheap stuff, right? I don't like even even your very specific, this is very high-end glue for your shoes. It's called shoe glue. It's meant to be very, very strong. But when you buy, you can only buy stuff like this from Ace Hardware. This is 35, 40 ringgit for a tub this big, you know. Again, when you're using this amount of material, every time you need to use this much material, you're paying 35, 40 ringgit. It adds up to a lot of money, right? So my sharing with you in understanding materials, stuff, how to do it, basically, you know, it's an encouragement for people that seem to think that puppetry is very, very specialist. Puppetry is very, very expensive to do. And my argument is that when you're looking at contents on television right now and you're competing against CGI and you're competing against Hollywood feature films that are being produced for a gazillion US dollars per show, and most of them dive bomb and people end up bankrupt and losing money from it. We can create content based on puppetry pretty much how Thunderbirds, Fireball, Team America, they did it, and their shows were really highly enjoyable until today. They still have a great following and they're making money. So my suggestion is don't compete against CGI shows, because most distributors will tell you don't make CGI shows. They have enough CGI shows that they need to distribute that they can't get rid of. Do something different, and if you don't have the budget to make feature films, let's do ultra-marionation, right? So what I'd like to do is just give me a minute to set up my puppet, and I'll actually show you how Merong the Monkey looks and feels. Okay?